Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. I wanted to just dive into it right away before I forget because it's the first day of my weekend. I'm going to maybe take a little bit longer weekend, but I wanted, if you read the header, if I remember correctly, um, I wanted to put this video out real quick. I don't know how long it'll be, but I wanted to do a video on not getting killed because you are watching my own laziness on a few things. Um, and it was brought up in one of the comments earlier today, and it's 100% true. Um, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, especially while I'm out here in nullsec or lowsec, as you know, the current challenge that I'm doing is I'm flying in and only using wormhole gates and I'm sorry, wormholes, and I'm not using Eve gates. So I'm having to use a lot of directional scanning and stuff like that to keep myself alive. And a major failing that I do that was pointed out in the comments, and I've been doing it since I first played, and I think a lot of people do this when they first play and they learn quickly not to do this, and I just have kept doing it, is if you're in local, and like you can see here, I'm out in KP TAC FQ1. Um, and let's say I do a lot of stuff that keeps me alive out here. Um, but one major failing that I do is I look at whenever somebody comes into system, I use their security status as a major way to figure out whether or not they want to kill me or not. Now, that is a bad way of going about it, and maybe when I'm talking about whenever I'm looking at them, uh, I'm not only looking at that, but that's all I really talk about a lot whenever I do. But it's also I'm still not doing what I could be doing to keep myself even more safe. Let me go ahead and get to a safe spot here so I don't get blown up. Nobody's in the system, but maybe somebody will come in here whenever I do. So I got nobody in system right now, but I'll use my own character as an example. So what I do like to do is since uh, being I don't have a cloak, um, and I could set up my overview a little bit better. I've seen some really good ones out there. I haven't messed with it a whole lot yet. But the major one that I do like to do is put my local right here at the top because that's where my eyesight goes for if anybody enters system and I can see it right away. And let's say somebody were to come into system right now and I was doing a relic site or even in an asteroid belt or doing whatever I was wanting to do. I would, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, I would almost instantaneously come up here, right click, and show the info. And the first thing I look for here is the security status. And I apologize for this too. I can't find the comment yet, and they were 100% right. I was trying to see where the comment is here. I must have missed it. Maybe I replied. I saw it when I woke up this morning, um, and I don't remember if I replied to it or I closed it down. I can't remember who sent it to, but it was such a good comment. I thought I got to do a video about this later on whenever I am awake. Speaking of which, coffee. As you can tell, I'm awake now. And he he actually had in the comment, or she, I'm sorry, um, pointed out that I'm constantly going to security status right off the bat to see if somebody wants to kill me. I'm only 28 days old. Oh wow, this seems like forever. Okay, um, and that is a while it's an instantaneous piece of information that you can get like that. There are better ways of doing it, or at least if you're looking at that, you should understand what you're looking at. Security status is affected by so many different things. Please do a lookup on Google. I'm not going to have to read it off for you like I normally do. I don't do instructional videos. This is just my gameplay, and if something pops up, I like to talk about it like this. But if you want to, look up how your security status is affected. And one of the security status effects that can happen to you is if you blow somebody else up, and especially blow up their pod. If I remember correctly, I haven't done a lot of PvP, but I know it's been affected by that. So an instantaneous security status is, whoa, this person has a 1, so they do more PvE than they do PvP, obviously. So I got to be less worrisome about it. He had pointed out, or she, in the comment, that you can affect your security status by turning in tokens or things or doing other things to raise your security status. So you could be a PvPer um, and uh, and still have a high security status, somebody who kills people. On the same note of that, I would agree with that and the fact that they could just be a tackler and not actually the one that kills you. They could just be a low-level character who comes in to throw their warp core um, disruptors on you, so that the other guys can come in and kill you. So while I do that in an instant piece of information, it is not the best. And I'm going to be honest. You're going to see me do it again. I've been doing it for years. I did it when I used to play. I've been doing it since I came back. I have to get out of the pattern. So what is the fix of that? There are a ton of fixes for that. I just looked up one that I used to use, and then I looked up some other ones, some very basic ones that you can do. Is number one, just warp to safe. Somebody comes in system, just go to a safe spot and get your wits about you. Then look up the security status. But don't clutter your screen. Make sure you're being okay. That's a first step in my mind. And the second part being, it all depends on how much your ship is worth. If you've watched the 28 days I've been doing this video, you'll know that I fly the cheapest ships in the world. I'm flying a ship somebody just gave me right now, okay? So if you're flying something you invested a lot of money in, especially if you're a miner or a big PvEer who has spent months building the ship that you have, I would suggest just warp to a safe spot right off the bat. Don't mess around. I have war stories about that in the past when I used to play, where I actually used to fly 2 ships at once. When I would rat, I would have a Dominic's, if I remember correctly, and the battle cruiser, the Myrmidon. And I had them set up where I would rat sites out in Nullsec as part of the alliance I was in, and as soon as somebody came in system, I would instantaneously warp to a safe spot. And I had guys who were actually laughing at me that were trying to kill me, because they were like, sooner or later I'm going to get you. And I'm like, sooner or later you're not. So I have a lot of stories about that from back in the day, which I'd like to get back to at some point. But first thing, warp to a safe spot, especially if you're in a ship that's worth a lot. I'm not in one, so I kind of like to take chances. Second thing being, once you warp to that safe spot, you all know it. If you've played any Eve, hopefully you know, pull up your Z kill board. See what's out there. I'm in a safe spot right now, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But this would be on my second monitor. I would just type in here, Amanda Pilgrim. So I warp to a safe spot. I do a search. Why not? Oh, is it Amanda Rose? I'm sorry. Rose. There she is. There's another Amanda Rose. There's a Alrighty, alright, that's cool. So Amanda, this is me. So I've died twice, but you can pull this up and see if somebody's dangerous or gangs. But more importantly, you can see what the recent activity was. I do that every once in a while in the videos, but not a whole lot. So that is one of them. I'm going to pull my Eve over to the other monitor so I can keep an eye on local while I'm doing this. But that's your first one. So you warp to a safe spot. Now, there's a couple other ones, and I just looked it up, and you can see it right now. This is a piece of third-party software that I used to use. I haven't downloaded it yet. Um, I'm not sure how well it works. It used to work very well for me back when I used to play. It's called Eve's Pirate's Little Helper. Now, if there's better ones out there that are than this, please, or if there's a problem with this one, please feel free to comment in the comment section. I will bring that up in the next video. I haven't used this since I started playing again, but I liked it a lot because what it does is it's a third-party software. You boot up Eve, and then you boot this up, and you can use it. Makes an actual window that overlays your your Eve game, and it will scan and it will give you information about everybody that's in system. Um, Now, whether or not this is the best one or not, or if there's anything wrong with third-party stuff, I just remember I used to use this. You can go directly to Z Killboard through here. It gives you all sorts of stats on different people. I'm not going to go into it. If you want to check it out, please feel free. The third one too, I think, and I haven't messed with this since I came back, is Eve Who. You can look up a bunch of information on people like that. So incorporations or different things, I think you can type in here. I actually haven't messed with this. Amanda Rose Pilgrim. This take me to. Alrighty. So it just gives me information, and I can go Z Killboard. I can look at the corporation. Looks like I was part of University of Calais at some point in time. This is the new corp that I made a couple days ago. So yeah, you're all good. I should change that out. Um, so yeah, those are some ideas. I'm looking for if you guys out there have any other ones. If you want to comment or you want to message to me. The only other thing I want to talk about in this video before I try to go blow something up, because you always like to see me almost die, is somebody did comment earlier in YouTube's comment section. They were having problems, and I'll just show you here. Do I still have it up? Amanda Rose, Pilgrim. And I'll just show you. If you are commenting on the YouTube videos, and they're not showing up in the comment sections, or I'm not replying to them, I try to reply to almost everyone that I see that isn't obvious spam. And I actually haven't deleted any spam in months. They're obviously like Russian, like I'm a girl and I like you things. Um, but uh, in the comment section, well, I'll go to the content here. I'll give you an example. So these are all the videos that I've done. I actually want to do a video about YouTube um, and why I use it um, for fun and why I don't make any money. I'll do a video about that, maybe even later on this week. If you notice here, there's 3 comments on this video that I see but whenever I come in here, there's this comment and no third comment here. Now I replied here. And this is a great comment. I should bring this up. User function keys. Please read the comments that are on here because they give some great pointers. This is the guy who gave me the station containers. If you notice, there's 2 comments, even though it said there were 3. And somebody said, and again, I can't find this comment. He said he sent. If you put a link into the comment, it doesn't show up. I don't know the whole rules around comments with YouTube, but if I haven't commented to one of yours, I try to do that to every comment that's obvious in here. Please just forward it to me within the Eve mail, and I will try to get back to you. I'm worried that I might have missed some, or you think that I'm not replying to you. I like comments because if people read them, they can learn things because they're pointing out things that I'm doing stupidly. And sometimes I can't get to them in videos. So, that said, go ahead and close out this window. If you want to try out Eve's Little Helper, please do. If not, if you want to keep doing what you're doing, please do. A lot of people in HiSec don't need it. There are other helpful things with something like Pirate's Little Helper. where you can kind of scout things out. Another smaller trick that I found, I'm just remembering this in my head. Uh, if you're having a tough time remembering who just came into system, a really quick way to do it, and there's not multiple people in system right now, but if you come into your local bar and click Control A, it will highlight everybody that's in that system and you can copy and paste them. But if somebody new comes into the system, maybe I'll show this in the next time I'm in a spot where there's multiple. Um, Actually, I'm not in too many systems that have that. Uh, if somebody new comes in the system, they won't be highlighted. So you can see who has come in recently since the last time you hit Control A. So that's another way to keep an eye out for yourself. Let's just go check out an asteroid belt here. I had a long week of work. I finally got done. Uh, some crazy stuff happened last night with the management making some mistakes, so it got real busy. I was real tired today, so I slept. I played a little bit of Eve earlier, but trying to make a video today was tough. I finally got some rest in me, and I really want to do this one earlier, but hopefully I've gotten enough. Obviously, I've got some energy. I'm going to play a lot tonight. Um, there are no signatures in system or unscanned downable signatures, or I would do those. Okay, so first off here, I'm going to go to a different asteroid belt, and I'll explain why. Now, I'm going to come back to this one here in a second, most likely. There are 3 cruisers and a battleship here. I've gotten really good at avoiding the cruisers, or avoiding battleships, and I'm really good at killing off frigates right away. But the way my ship is set up, I'm working on my tactics. Cruisers are bad for me because they're almost my size and they can hit me a lot easier than the battleships can. They stand up to the damage that I'm doing more so than the battleships. Now, here's an interesting one. We're going to try this out. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. Um, I'll talk it through what I'm trying to do here. So, I have changed out the afterburner to a micro warp drive. What I'm trying to do is close distance on these guys. Gotta get within 33. As quickly as possible, get into the transversal, and hopefully my just regular speed will keep up the lack of damage. And I want to hit these guys as much as possible from the get-go, so even though they're out of range, did I shoot at the wrong guy? I think I shot at the wrong guy. I'm an idiot. Okay, so this is where I messed up before. Don't mess around. Go to a safe spot. Notice I'm getting hit. Remember when I said a couple episodes ago I lost my cursor because I pushed things too hard? If things aren't going your right way with this, get away for a second, take a chance. Don't push it. I let myself get into structure, and I didn't align fast enough before, and that's how I lost my cursor earlier. I'm going to try this again. I'm stupid. Okay. I think I have ways of doing this. I think I'm trying out a little bit of a difference here with the micro warp drive. Uh, the other thing too is I'm working on my capacitor and keeping that up and running. Uh, I'm really experimenting a lot with this new courser that was given to me in the parts because I haven't put the rigs on here. He gave me some other things that would be helpful, and whether or not I want to go with the active armor repair because that takes away from my capacitor, or do I try to go full speed tank? Do I go with the micro warp drive or the afterburner? Do I throw on just some shield defense instead of the cap recharger or the cap battery? So many different things I can try out, and that's what I'm going to be doing over the next day or so. So when you see me doing what I'm doing here, I'm trying different things and seeing what works best. So my shields are low. Um, let's go to Asteroid Belt 3. Just want to see if there is just a frigates, and the best setup right now I found is fighting against frigates and battleships. Cruisers are tough because they are able to target me better. Destroyers have some punch, but they die faster than the cruisers. So as long as I'm careful, which I wasn't just there, um, there's usually not an issue. Let me just see how much time I got in here. 20 minutes. So we're going into asteroid belt 3. Now obviously once I get up to the cruiser level, I shouldn't have any issues. Okay, nothing in asteroid belt 3. Let's go to 4. Why am I doing these? I could warp back to the station, dock up, and then go out again, and my shields would be recharged. Um, but I'm checking out these asteroid belts, and if there's an easy kill, and there's only 5 asteroid belts in this system, so I can take a quick look around, see what I got. Uh, Last episode, I talked about I wanted to do a challenge, and okay, so we got a guy in system. This is perfect. So I'm coming into an asteroid belt. You got 3 cruisers and a battleship. He's here. First thing to do is don't mess around. Warp to 0. Then take the time to take a look at him. Now, what I used to do is I would pull it up and I would say, oh, he's got a security status of 5. Fine. Now I've got his stuff up here. I can also see how old he is, kind of, how long he's been part of different corporations. When he started, he also had a character transfer here back in 2016. Tells me a lot about him. And he's already left, so I don't have to worry about him so much. He's probably just an explorer or somebody who's flying through. But let's say he was still in system. Okay. What I would want to do is then do a search on Z Killboard. Z Killboard. Thank you. And then, now there's different ways that you can do this. I'm going to do it the most basic ways. You can type his name in. Walter Schellenberg. There you are, Walter. Now, got to be a little bit careful. Looks like there is a with 1 L and 2. Probably the same guy. This is Mr. Schellenberg there. And it looks like, aha! So even though he has a 5 security status, he is 93% dangerous. So he's killed 343 ships and lost only 21 of them. Now, does that mean he's a PvPer, or does that mean he's part of a group? Things I look at here are the types of ships that he's destroyed. These are all small ships. And then you'll look over here. Was there a solo destruction? Solo. So this is a perfect example, even though he left and didn't try to kill me, it's a perfect example of somebody who had a 5 security status, but still is out there killing a ton of people. And if you look at all of them, look at this. So these Astero, Heron, Astero, Probe, he's killing explorers. So he may have come into system in a specific type of ship, and he's potting them. And this was just recently. Look, that's another thing to look at here. He just killed somebody in a Mauler. That's interesting. Let's look at his solo kills. He killed somebody in an Astero just 4 days ago in 6Q in Stain. So, yeah, this is a perfect example, perfect timing. Why not using security status as the end-all be-all? I do use it very briefly. Just it's the first thing I can look at. It's the fastest thing, but definitely do not use that as the end-all be-all. It is just a piece of the puzzle that can be completely wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video because I want to go blow some stuff up. and I want to test out some of these things that I've been messing around with. Um, and then, to be honest, I want to be focused on that. And if I come up with some ideas with it, I will. I am still going to do the challenge of flying the asteroid belts sometime this week, um, for and then take that money and donate it. The fellow who gave me this coercer, I'll talk about that in a future video, told me he doesn't want the money. He doesn't want any of the stuff back that I'm not using. I will say this: I will pay it forward what he gave me, multiple times to other people. If you guys are ever stuck out here in KP Tech Q1 or Emeritus, I'd be happy to help you. And as the game goes along further, I'll do that as well. I'll probably bring up him bringing that out to me. I thought it was one of the coolest things ever, multiple times. So, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'll probably do some more videos this week. I finally got some rest in me, and I feel like I have a lot of stuff I want to do around the house, but I'm going to take all my breaks playing Eve and drinking coffee. So I'm going to maybe do multiple videos this weekend. I'm just going to plop some in here as they come to mind. So you guys fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however that you want, and have a great day. Have a good one.